Hello, the biggest breaking news you're going to see all day today, probably for the rest of the month, is that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are engaged. This happened right after I got off the noon show, and someone said they're engaged. And I was like, is this a joke? It was not a joke. And the person to tell us more about why this is very real is our morning producer, Alyssa Mancuso.
Hello, everyone. Taylor Swift fan here, Swiftie at your service.
Okay, you know everything about the ins and outs of the relationship, even before they were dating. Like, we have talked about this so many times. You have walked me off the ledge of believing that this was a sham relationship, and I have come around. So I have you to thank for that. But look, why is this? This is a meltdown. My entire timeline is people melting down, breaking down tears. Why?
I think there's so much investment in Taylor for so many different reasons. I think for people like me who have been like listening to her since I was a kid, like grew up with her music, like we knew all the boyfriends and all the, relationships that went well and the ones that didn't, and all her like re-recording her albums and just her as a high schooler into becoming like a woman. Seeing her go through that journey as we go through that journey, there's like this parasocial relationship that forms where you just feel like you know her and
Mhm.
you like want the best for her. So to see her like finally after listening to her sing about heartbreak for like so literally probably almost over 20 years almost 20 years at this point. Her first album debuted in 2006. I think 2006. Like to have seen her go through all of this for so long and to like pine and all the crap she's gotten from the media and just seeing her overcome all that and finally find a man that like loves her and respects her enough to like get down on one knee and give her a ring, like that is why everybody's freaking out.
I know, look at, I think that Travis Kelce shows himself as a very respectable guy that loves her and is excited about her and is happy for her wins. But there's plenty of guys that would have gladly gotten down on one knee. Why did it not work out for so many of the other past relationships? By the way, real fast before you get into that, explain the
Hmm.
caption that she posted on Instagram. She did a joint post with her and Travis, which I think is kind of cute because like that's what us normal people do, like joint posts with their friends. The caption was your high school English teacher and your high school gym teacher are getting married. I was like,
So cute,
okay,
like the
I could
perfect
see.
caption.
Yeah, well, explain what that like means.
Well, I think people have always really complimented Taylor on how expansive her vocabulary is and how she really plays with like allegories and like similes and metaphors and like analogies. Like she is a master of art and word and literature, and she loves poetry, and she just if there were ever a a position for her at a school, like it would be as your high school English teacher. Like she would be going over, pouring over Hamlet with you and like telling you, who's in love with who and why there's, turmoil. Like she understands art from a unique perspective. So her being the English teacher makes total sense to me. And she's just so thorough and like visceral in the way she speaks and writes, and obviously it makes sense for her. And then obviously
Self-explanatory, Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce, like one of the probably potentially controversial take, like maybe one of the best tight ends to have ever played in the NFL. Like certainly,
Controversial. You can say that now.
certain, right? Like even I mean, he's on the cusp of retirement, but like even currently, still one of like the best in the NFL, probably in his last season or two. So him being, and he's like goofy and funny and silly, and like he's got this charm to him that I feel like everybody relates to, like that high school gym teacher who you think is like your homie. Yeah, he gives off that energy of like he's running around practice like with the Chiefs. Like you see him in mic'd ups where he's like hyping people up and like be broing out with people. So I think that
Hold on.
makes sense.
Did you see this coming? Did you see this happening this year? How about that?
It's so hard. There's been so many rumors about it, especially after she came out with that podcast with Travis.
Yeah,
Everybody was kind of like, this is very strange for her. Like
because
she,
she
sh
never goes on podcasts.
yeah, like she has been public with her relationships in the past, and she has like publicly praised her partners. Not often, but she has. But she's never. We've maybe say for like one or two times, we've never seen her interact and like communicate with someone she's dating,
Yeah.
like in a very intentional, purposeful way.
So
So for
you
her to
thought
sit
when you saw
down,
it, you're like, she's gonna get engaged this
I
year.
don't, it was definitely like, this is different. Like there's got to be some like firmness here. Like we are steady. If we're feeling brave enough to do a 2 hour sit down, like
Mm.
almost one-on-one podcast.
Okay.
That's the most, I mean, the biggest thing. All my
Because you
friends and
can't.
I were texting each other. We were like, I've never seen her speak this
Yeah.
much. Like the only times you see her talk, because she really doesn't do interviews anymore. The only times you see her speak are like during her tour, like in between songs when she chats with fans, and like when she kind of does album promo on like her social media. And like she really is not doing expansive interviews with people.
Okay, so when you're watching this interview, obviously you already have believed in this relationship since day one. But for the people that were like, sure, it's all for show, there's this narrative that they're pushing. Do you think that quashed all of those theories?
No, definitely not. I mean, people will go to their grave thinking that this is like a publicity stunt and this is PR. Like, of course, that didn't, there's no way. Like, there are definitely people out there who don't believe it. And that is your prerogative. Like, you don't have to support her. You don't have to believe it. It is a free country. You can have whatever opinion you want. But I don't know. This, to me, like, Taylor Swift does not need publicity.
Yeah.
And I was just talking about this with a friend. Like, you do publicity stunts when like you need to like churn up attention so that you can sell things. Like she very obviously with like Folklore, for example, she dropped that album like that. No promo, nobody knew, and it went to number one. Like she doesn't need publicity. She's the
Okay,
biggest pop star on the planet. Like,
let's talk about the stuff that actually matter here. Do you
yeah.
like her ring? What kind of dress is she gonna wear? When do you think the marriage is gonna take place? And where do you think she's gonna get married?
Oh my gosh, the ring is beautiful. It's a little hard to see in that picture. I'm trying like you're trying to decipher if it's like two big diamonds or one big diamond. Like the picture's a little grainy to get in that close. Yes, I've tried. But it's very vintage. It's
Of
very,
course you zoomed in. Of course.
girl, you gotta hit him with the zoom. It's super vintage, and that's so Taylor. Like she's such an old soul for a lot of her music videos and album artwork and the literature she references. Like she's
Yeah.
so loving those like 1920s, 1930s, like those
Yeah.
old vintage vibes. So
100%.
the ring makes total sense from her. I think he knocked it out of the park.
An
And it's a
emerald.
gold ring. She's a gold girl.
Yes,
Like we love that for her.
that was really pretty. Okay,
Yeah.
dress.
Dress. Oh my
Are
gosh.
we going super conservative, like a Kate Middleton thing? Or are we gonna see maybe some softer romantic, body hugging, something a bit more current?
So this is like a little bit in the weeds, but we're gonna go
I
there
mean,
for
we
all
we
those
love to be
watching.
in the weeds.
We're in the weeds,
Is
but
that not a place where you thrive?
period, exactly. A few years ago, when she put out her song Champagne Problems, she put out, I think it was a lyric video where she talks about a failed relationship where they thought they were going to get married. And it turns out, like,
They're
the
all
woman was basically too crazy to get married and the guy left. Um,
Wait, that wasn't a reference to Joe Alwyn?
it could have been. We don't know.
I don't
Only
know.
Taylor
See, oh,
knows.
see, this is
Only
why
Taylor knows.
I will not be throwing out any of my predictions because I'm completely wrong. So go ahead and continue.
But she had on a dress in the video that after a while people were like, "Oh my gosh, that's like a wedding gown." And it was like a big ball gown, like sweetheart neckline, like super fluffy. Like she
Hmm.
basically looked like she was a swan, like sitting in this huge gown. So like I don't see Taylor doing something like slim or like an A-line. Like I see like a big ball gown,
Wow.
drama, like romantic. I don't see like sparkles, maybe like a subtle like diamond moment.
Yeah.
Or she could go totally vintage and do something like super lacy, like off the shoulder. I don't know. Who knows? It's Taylor Swift. I feel like everybody thinks they always know, and then she pulls some crazy stuff, and we're like, I was not prepared. All I know is she's gonna look beautiful. Like she's like one of the most beautiful people on the planet. She's gonna look gorgeous. And I can't wait. I'm like having heart palpitations. Like
Uh,
what am I, more important question, like what are we wearing to the wedding?
because we're going to be invited.
because we're gonna be invited. Like I know it. I know in my soul
Wait,
she's
wedding
watching.
here in the US or outside of the US?
Oh, it's
Like
hard because
all the stuff that she writes about, is she drawn towards, like a specific place in the US, or is it you think that she's more like a European girly, or I mean, she
maybe like
also went to school in
maybe
Mexico.
maybe like the Rhode Island house. She owns a home in Rhode Island right off the coast. That's beautiful, like right on the water. And I totally see her, and especially we have to configure Travis into the wedding too, because I think she would totally be like, this is an us decision. It's not like all about me. And he's like a hometown boy. Like he's, an Ohio boy that, his brother lives in Philly, like right outside of Philly. Like they're very small town people. I mean, obviously they're very big city people now, but growing up, like they were a small town family. And I feel like they would want something small and private. And I could see it just being at like a really like,
Americana.
yes, for sure. And like a little hometown moment, like somewhere small and intimate. I could see it being overseas, but I don't really know about her travel patterns like that.
It's not,
She's
it's not,
so,
it's not giving Italy. It's giving America.
yeah, it's giving like we're getting married in, New England in October, like with my three best friends and my mom and my dad and my brother and his family. Like, you know what I mean? I think it's small town, but I don't, who knows? Like, truly, we know so little about Taylor personally. And I think that's part of her draw for fans, but also on like the wider scope is she kind of is reminiscent of that, like, Madonna, Elton John, Michael Jackson, where you like kind of know what they're doing, but there was no social media when those people were huge. And Taylor's not really on social media. She doesn't really interact with, not anymore. She doesn't really interact with fans like that anymore or like do interviews. So she's kind of whatever you want her to be in your mind. And I think that's what draws people to her and also pushes people away from her. So who knows? We will find out one day, I'm sure. I'm surprised I thought she was just gonna get married and one day in a song be like, and my husband. Cause like I would expect that from her at this point, honestly. So
Although
I
we will
don't
get
know.
invitations in the mail within the next
I
six
know. I have to like get my dress together. I gotta finish shoes. Like what jewelry am
years.
I renting? Like how am I
Plane
getting there? The
tickets.
flights. I know there's a
What
lot
kind
to
of
be
tickets to
budgeted.
get them? Like
I
this is
have to
so
totally
stressful.
rethink all my vacation time now. Like there's a
You
lot
need
to
a
be
month off for
decided.
that. You need a complete month off for that.
I
Yeah.
think I need the year. I think I have to quit,
Think I
actually.
know the boss. So like,
Yeah, I think you got to pull some strings for me. You might know him a little better than me.
oh my God, Alyssa, number one fan, dubbed in my mind, number one fan. So we'll see
I'm
if
trying.
you're right. I really, you sold me on all your predictions. So I'm like, yeah, that's absolutely coming true.
Okay, God bless. We'll see. We'll have like a bingo card when the wedding stuff comes out, and we'll see like how we did.
I'm
We'll
not,
rewatch this interview, and we'll
I'm
see
not
how it went.
kidding. You will actually come up with that, and that's the best part. All right, girly, thank you so much.